Let's click that answer button. And I'm joined with Tai Emery right here, right now. How's it going?
G'day, how are ya?
I'm good. I'm good. Thank you so much for being on the show.
You're alright, mate. I thought I'd like it at the same
Oh, so you've been listening the whole time.
Yeah, just switched on live stream on Instagram as well.
Oh, so we simultaneously on. Okay.
Yes!
So so shout out to the listeners through Instagram and live stream, and whichever your phone or your desktop can handle. Because yeah, you've probably been hearing me complaining about Skype. It is becoming very unstable. It's supposed to be on Skype 10, but it's on Skype 7, even though I updated. But that's technology for you.
Yeah, can't live with it, can't live without it, mate.
Yeah, that is true. You have a lot going on. I want to talk about LFL, which is you are a part of.
Yes.
And what got you into being a part of Lingerie Football League?
See, I was lucky enough to play in the LFL, which is now the Legends Football League. I played with them for 4 years, 3 seasons. Started off in Australia and got to be lucky enough to be a captain of that team. Came over to Las Vegas because I wanted to see if I could cut it with the best over here in America. If if you want to play gridiron and American football, you can't be good in Australia. You need to come over to where it's originated and where it began. So this is where the journey took me, and it come over to here to America. So yeah, I played for the Las Vegas Sin. I was also a captain of that team, and finished up with the Los Angeles team. Finished as an all-star as a strong safety, which it was just an awesome journey. I've loved football. Obviously, I played Australian football and rugby league, rugby union. Played through high school. Got to play a little bit out of school, and yeah, I honestly I haven't played defense, so I feel like you could really kind of adapt to American football when you're just playing defense. I was a linebacker. I got to be a middle linebacker, outside linebacker, and a rover. And rover, pretty much my coach just let me do whatever I wanted. So that kind of fit my mentality, just a reaction sort of player. And that's pretty much it. I've just loved football my whole life. I was playing with the footy pretty much before I was, before I even had Barbie dolls. So that was a big thing. That was, that was just my culture, and that was just how I was brought up, and that's just how I am. I finished up playing with them, I think, last year, and I'm currently doing MMA out of American Top Team, and I can't forget Extreme Couture, which is where I pretty much trained my whole LFL seasons out there in Las Vegas, but now up here in Atlanta and training at American Top Team.
That is so fascinating. It's so fascinating. I like you got such energy, such
Oh,
drive,
thanks.
so much passion, and I can tell that you can be very intimidating. Like you love being on the defense side, and
I love defense. Defense, baby.
yes,
Defense.
and anytime when you see that receiver or running back getting that ball, oh, they gotta keep an eye on Ty. Watch Ty, and then boom, you hit him with the hard hit.
Gotta.
So that's what you gotta do. So you got this MMA fight coming up August 19th. Talk about WFF talk about this fight that you got coming on and how you feel about it, what you look forward to, like what's your mindset preparing for this fight?
This is my debut. So this is the first game day of the MMA, I guess, transition. So right now everything's just been a learning and adapting into what I need to do during a camp, how I need to change, and I guess I've just been trying to take on a lot from the athletes that are around me. I'm lucky enough to have some great athletes, whether that be at my strength and conditioning gym at GATA or at American Top Team with all of the fighters that are coming out of there. really right now just the mindset is trying to get focused in making sure that, my body's going to be right and my mind is going to be right. It's kind of crazy, the journey, like mentally, how you kind of start to, I guess, really just start more on the inward and just more trying to, I guess, become a lot more clearer in your own mind so that you can really tap into your own nervous system. Everything's going to be a reaction, so everything's just drilling up until that point when you're going to be stepping in there. Once I'm in there, honestly, I'm just going to be hoping that, I'm going to be knowing that all of my instincts are going to be kicking in, and that's the same as when I take the field when I was playing LFL. Like, I was 130 pounds at the time, and I'm taking on 200-pound girls. That's something that really, as I'm a native. I'm a Maori, which is a native New Zealander, and we've got we're a tribe of warriors, and I'm sure that kind of genetic play comes into wraps with what everything's kind of doing. And yeah, I guess right now it's just everything's just going to be all about training and just drilling.
So ever since you make this transition from the LFL to MMA, what has been the reaction from fans, family members, former teammates, as you go from the gridiron to the octagon? Have you been getting some support from everyone that's been following your career?
Yeah, definitely. Pretty much all my gang back home, all the family back home is definitely truly supportive. All of my old teammates pretty much, they patted me on the back and they said, we knew you'd probably end up doing something like this. And that's pretty much been the general answer with everyone, is that we knew that this is where you'd end up doing. Which was surprising for me to hear that, just because I was so passionate about LFL and I loved everything that has to do with football. But I guess the more that I'm doing this, the more I'm kind of falling in love with it. Who knows how it's going to all play out? Like, win or lose, I know that it's going to be a bloody good show, and who's not going to want like an ex-LFL lingerie player stepping in there to give it a go? I can't see people who wouldn't want to find that entertaining at all. But yeah, usually the general reaction is everyone's really supportive, and everyone's along for the ride as well.
So as you prepare for this fight, what kind of style are you leaning towards to? Are you leaning more on the ground game? Are you more into the punching, the kicking? Like, what style you feel like best fits you as a fighter?
I love stand-up, and I'm definitely towards a lot of like wrestling and jiu-jitsu sort of movements. Something in a lot of chaos brings a lot of silence for me. The more the chaos, the more the slower it gets, and everything just kind of feels a little bit more familiar and kind of like just rolls off the body. But I do love the stand-up, and I do love a good right-hand punch. That's probably my favorite, just because I'm putting a lot of work in with my strength and explosiveness. But I definitely do love getting on the ground. You got to be even the whole way through all of your game. But I do love stand-up. Honestly, I think that's what people want to see as well.
Women MMA has definitely grown throughout the years, from Ronda Rousey, Cyborg, Amanda Nunes, who is the current champion right now. Getting started. How do you feel about MMA and the reaction that it's getting compared to the men's MMA?
This is definitely one sport where it's starting to get, it's really, really, really taking off. And the names that you have said, these are women that, they have paved the way for everyone else to be able to get in there and just really show their athleticism. I feel like this is just a sport where every alpha woman is, coming from all of her backgrounds and is going to put it out there on the line. Like, everyone's going to see what they can do, and cut it with the best. I think it's a different sort of game to the men's, which is where, we can go and watch football and we can watch women and, women playing football, and just like lingerie, just like LFL, it needed to have a different gimmick and a different sort of entertainment and marketing with it for people to be able to come and watch. just because you're going to want to watch a different level of play. I think with women's MMA, the fact that people are going in there, it's a completely different sort of thing to watch, and the athleticism of the females and the fact that it is females, in comparison to the males, it's still just as entertaining, just because you're watching the sheer athleticism of them, rather than watching, something like a traditional game of American football, when you're going to be watching the same people in pads. You're going to be preferring to watch, the men's league over the women's league. And that's not saying anything on the women's league. No, I'm just merely saying there've been the males, league has been around and dominating for, hundreds of years. At least with women's MMA, you're just seeing someone's athleticism rather than coming and watching a traditional, game with the rules.
I've definitely become a fan of women MMA over the last several years. Wanda Rousey definitely played a role into it, and then I'm starting to learn more. I'm starting to learn more of the other fighters and what they bring to the table, and how much big of a box office they are. And women's sports overall has definitely it has evolved throughout the years. And I'm an MMA fan. I'm a wrestling fan. I'm a fan of a variety of sports, and any chance I get a chance to see women kicking ass and be just as good as the man, if not even better. I'm all for woman getting that shine. So I say salute to all the women that's doing what they do. And you know
what? And it takes a lot for the men that are around us that are helping us to train as well. This could be a very egotistical sport, and I feel like if you're a strong enough female and you go into the gym and you get enough respect from the people around you, they're going to see that you're bloody there for the game. You're bloody there to compete, and that's why people can gravitate towards people like that and really help them along their journey. And yeah.
Well said. And of course, you may have heard of this super coming up next month. It's called Mayweather versus McGregor. When an MMA.
Wait, this has been the most entertaining world tour I've ever even seen. Like every single day, it is just something new. I think, boxing is rules, but when it comes down to who would be the better fighter, if we're just talking fighting, then we all know McGregor's got it. But now we're putting him in with, restraining him with some rules, so that's where it's going to be interesting. But I don't know, I love it. I think it's awesome.
I mean, I can't be mad at McGregor for having the confidence, because that's definitely what you're going to need. And do I think he's going to beat Mayweather in his own sport? I mean,
nah.
I don't think so. And the same could be said if Mayweather steps into the octagon. McGregor would eat him alive. So it's the whole trash talking. I mean, there were some things from both sides that said that may have crossed the line, but it's part of that combat sports, trying to get into the
Mate, they're throwing dollar bills in the air.
Yeah. I mean, McGregor, it looks like he's just having a ball, man. I've never seen McGregor this happy, this excited, man. So August 26th, that's going to be an interesting night. And before I let you go, why don't you go ahead and promote your social media links, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, any other links people need to know.
Thanks for tuning in, guys, and I hope you catch on and, get interested in the journey. There's not just me who's out there. There's a million other fighters, and there's, a million other female athletes as well. I keep it pretty easy. Everything's TAI_EMERY, so that's across the board. Obviously, you guys have already tagged me in my Facebook pages, but Instagram and Twitter is all the same, Tai_Emery.
Thank you so much for being on the show. This was so entertaining, and I enjoy the accent.
Yeah, cheers, mate.
And I know you're on Celeb VM, the website when people request video messages and things like that. And I'm definitely gonna send you a request. For sure.
We can personalize that up for you, mate.
Cool. Thank you so much. You have a good night. Okay.
All right. It's been great chilling with you guys.
Absolutely. You have a good night.
Catch ya.
Bye-bye. That was